of friends and strangers on a 6-foot-long sheet of paper. When I started reading it, it seemed like everyone in my home county and neighboring towns had written encouraging notes like, "Make us proud," and "We're so happy for you," and "Go for it." At that moment, the self-confidence and resolve I had lost was restored. I've never forgotten how much that meant to me, how much it changed my life. At some time you will go through challenging times. It's important to remember those who stood by you. Take a minute and think about what names would be on your scroll. Family, friends, teachers, counselors, coaches. Would your name be on someone's scroll? Remember me saying life can be a series of dream jobs? Well, after 6 years in Cincinnati, out of the blue, the sports editor of AP called and offered me the position as their coordinator of the 1984 Los Angeles Summer Olympics. Remember those Olympic rings? My mind immediately flashed back to that cold night in Terry when I was drawing those circles in the snow. I dreamed it, I visualized it, and it happened. My dream came true. Why can't yours? It can, if you march forth fearlessly. After the LA Games, what could I possibly do once I had realized my childhood dream of being part of the Olympics? Well, I moved to Denver to join one of the last great newspaper wars. The Rocky Mountain News hired me to beat the other paper with the news that Denver was getting a Major League Baseball team. And I did. To this day, that remains the biggest story of my career and my proudest moment. And guess what happened next? I couldn't help myself when the bright lights of Las Vegas called. People ask how I went from covering sports in Denver to covering celebrities in Las Vegas. Well, that seed was planted right here in Montana. I was 10 years old when my parents announced we were going to the Eastern Montana Fair in Miles City to see the singing cowboy, Gene Autry. Think of Tim McGraw singing on his horse and making hit Western movies, and you've got Gene Autry. I couldn't wait to see my first celebrity, and I wanted to be as close as possible. So I asked my mother if I could leave the grandstand and go down to the front of the arena. There I was, ringside, when the announcer said, "Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big Eastern Montana welcome to Gene Autry." The crowd goes crazy, and sure enough, out comes Autry's famous horse champion with a cowboy leaning way back. And I mean, way back. And I'm thinking, wow, this is so cool. It must be a trick ride. Well, champion raced to the front of the arena, comes to a spectacular stop. Hooves digging in, dirt flying, and I realized that my hero, Gene Autry, was still leaning way back. And the reason he was leaning way back was because he was tied down. And the reason he was tied down was because he was drunk. Little did I know that would be my introduction to the exciting and unpredictable world of celebrity. But I've learned after 15 years in Vegas, Gene Autry was a saint. Compared to some celebrities, like George Clooney, who come to Las Vegas and have 16 shots of tequila and think they're invisible. But they aren't. They soon find out that what happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas. Why Vegas after all those years as a sports writer? Because I deeply miss the excitement of chasing international stories. There are few cities in the world that have that generate as much excitement as Las Vegas. News like Prince Harry's visit that turned into a royal scandal. Photos of Harry playing buck-naked billiards went viral. Before that, a hot tip led to an exclusive story about Britney Spears. That Britney Spears got married for all of 55 hours. Another source helped me break the story that Michael Jackson was moving to Las Vegas for a comeback bid. This job allows me to have fun, but not at the expense of others. I learned a lot from that Gene Autry experience. There's nothing wrong with having fun, whether you're at a rodeo in Montana, a nightclub in Vegas, or a graduation in Billings. Your future should be fun. That doesn't mean you won't do serious work, but you need to find the joy in whatever you do. I'm proud to say I'm nearly 72 years old and still doing what I love every day. I'm incredibly thankful for that answered prayer and this incredible life. Even those times when it got a little too exciting. I've survived not only running with the bulls in Pamplona, but the deadly riot that followed it. Then there was the monster hurricane in Hawaii, earthquakes in San Francisco and Southern California. I flew with the President of the United States, covered numerous Olympics and World Series, and met more celebrities than I could ever imagine. I've worked not one dream job, but too many to count. That Montana boy who flunked out of college and whose career possibilities seemed limited because he had one eye is incredibly grateful. I've learned many lessons along this journey. Some of them I'd like to forget,